Hi guys, and welcome to Unity tutorial of a first-person shooter, Aliens in Town. Let me show you how this works. We have an alien around, so we're going to prevent the alien from going into our neighborhood. And we also have some other aliens hanging around, so let's see. I think there's another one over there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Unity development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi guys, and welcome to Unity tutorial of a first-person shooter. I'm going to call this one Aliens Are Here, something like that. Now, to start with, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to my hierarchy here. Let's just drop that down, and we need, I'm going to go for terrain. There we go, that's my terrain right there. For this very terrain, I'm going to add trees and so on. Let's see, I'm just going to come in here. You see where we have the terrain inspector or the properties. If I click on that right here, we have the size and so on there. Okay, we're talking of about the width is 1000 by 1000, and the terrain height is 600, the width is 1000, the length is 1000 as well. So I think I'm gonna have to just leave everything the way it is, just leave the default setting the way it is. But before then, one thing that I want to do now is I'm going to add some trees. Let's come in here. Okay, let's just add some trees and see how that's gonna look like, then we'll take it from there. So in here, right inside the terrain property there, the choice is yours again. If you want to use any of the brushes just to raise the terrain, that's your choice if you want to do that. Okay, just something like this. Okay, as you can see, the size of my brush is approximately 63%. So I'm gonna make that, let's go for maybe about 30, and just 30 seems to still be too much. I'm gonna make it about 20, so that's good enough for me, and just something that is too high. You see, in the case of this very high terrain, all you just need to do is just to hold on to the shift key and just click on it, and that should bring it right down. So something like that. So the whole idea is we have an alien in town and you need to do something about it. So that's how you create your own terrain. If you want, just add some hills and so on. Now the next thing I want to do now is, which is what I'm looking forward to do, is just to add the trees. I'm going to click on trees, and where I have my trees is actually inside the standard asset. If you don't have your standard asset, all you need to do is to go straight to Windows, and right here you see where we have package manager. Click on the package manager, and you can wait for all of these to enable. You can select all. Oh, there's no all in here. Okay, in project, or if you have already downloaded it, you should be able to just type in, see it inside my asset there, and here I'm going to type in standard asset. There we go, that is it right there. Select it, and all you then need to do is to click on download. I've already downloaded it in my program, so that is it right here, so I don't need that. The other thing that you guys will need is the all sky free. I'm going to be using that for my sky, and I don't even have it on my own system here, so I might as well just type in all sky free. Something here, all sky. There we go. Okay, and this is what you just need to do. Just click on import. All right, I have to click on import again. There we go. All right, So all Sky Free is actually being imported straight onto my system now, and that is all there is to that. So I'm going to close that. But before I close it, if you guys need any other component, all you just need to do is to type whatever component you need and just search for it. Like I'm going to be using some of the building apartment which I've already downloaded, and that is it. So here are some other buildings if you want. I do have some buildings here. The one that I'm actually going to be using, building apartment. All you then need to do is to click on download and so on, and that's it for how to use the package manager. So I'm going to exit out from the package manager. The next thing I want to do now is right inside my standard asset here, we do have what is known as environment folder. Inside the environment folder we have speed tree. Okay, I've got some trees there that I'm going to be using. This one called qualify, and there's another one, broad leaves. So let's select my terrain, and now I'm going to come in here. Okay, make sure you select the icon to edit the tree. You see where we have edit trees, click on that and click on add trees, and you're now coming right here where we have tree prefab. Click on that, and the one that we're looking for, look at the name here, broad leaves. So you can just type it right there or just scroll right down and look for it. Broad leaves should be there somewhere. There we go, that is it right there. If you click on that and click on add, that is it. Okay, there we go. Right now, right underneath here we have another icon, that the button. Actually the button is saying mass place trees. So if I click on the mass place trees, it's going to give me the option of about 10,000 trees. That is a bit too much, so I'm going to make it about 1,000. Let's see what 1,000 will look like. I can always increase or reduce that, so I'm just going to click on place. There we go. That is how 1,000 trees look like. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I want to position my terrain properly. So let's click on games right here. You click on the game, and if you select the terrain, you will actually see the terrain. The position is 0, 0, 0. But to be able to position it properly, we need the camera itself. Let's click on the camera. There we go. That is how the camera is looking. The position of the camera is 1, 1, 1. Okay, and as you can see, the z-axis is -10. I'm going to leave that alone for now, but let's come to this x-axis here. So I'm just going to increase the x-axis. Look at that. Okay, when you increase the x-axis, that should bring the terrain. The terrain should fill up the screen. Let's make it about 40 and see there. Okay, and the other thing is we're going to need to do something with this z-axis. So what I'm going to do is, I think, reduce that. Let's make it about 5, -5. That is still not good enough. Okay, let's move it. All right, that's a little bit much better now. And these hills, I may have to reduce the size of those hills. They seems to be just too huge. So let's run it and see how that looks like. That is how it's looking now. But those hills that I have in there, I'm going to do something with them. So let's come in here and just take care of those hills. The terrain. Right. That is where the hills are. See those hills? We'll come straight to the properties. Select that. Hold on to the shift key and just flatten those hills. Well, let's see, there might be something for us to use to flatten it. That is how you flatten it, raise or lowered. So I'm just going to lower it. Okay, let's lower it. Alright, that's a little bit fine. Let's lower it for now. I can always increase it later on. Alright, for now, that is how it's all looking. So let's run it one more time and see. Okay guys, that is how it's looking. Now we have plain flat ground. Alright, for us to be able to navigate around the whole arena, we need something like first person. So let's go for FPS. So I might as well just get hold of that, and we also need to add some grasses to this very terrain. So first of all, let's go back to the standard asset. Inside the standard asset, we have what is known as characters. There we go. Inside the character, we want first person FPS controller, and inside the folder called first person character, there is other folder there, and the very folder that I'm looking for is the prefab folder. Double click on the prefab folder, and what we need is this very one here, FPS controller. So I'm going to drop that just right there. Okay, now if I run it, I should be able to just pan around my whole environment. You see that? And you can hear the first person just walking around. Okay, that is fine. So we have huge area for the aliens to land their craft in anyway, so that's fine. So I'm going to just press the escape key and exit out. Alright, that is fine. Now the next thing I want to do is I might as well go for a weapon. Here, that is the weapon. You can always get a lot of those anywhere. If you go to Windows and just go to Asset Store, or Asset Store, you should be able to get something like that. Alright, I'm going to grab that, and I'll actually place that weapon inside the first person here. You see the first person controller, drop it down, and inside the first person controller there's another mesh there called first person character. I'm going to make this gun that you're looking at here, drag it, and it's going to be a child of this first person mesh. That is it right there. Okay, which means I'll be able to just navigate around with the gun. First of all, let's look at this. See that? The game. And right here you can see how huge the gun is. I'm going to reduce the size to 0.04, and I'm going to do the same thing for the others. Copy this, come in here, make that 0.04. There we go, and here as well, 0.04. Okay, now I don't know where my gun is. The gun is right here. Okay, there. That seems to be a little bit small. First of all, let's make it just 4. Then once I'm able to position it properly, then I'll do something with it. Okay, now let's grab my move tool there and just use that to position it. No, that's moving too high. Okay, I think the clipping seems to be too okay. That is the gun. Let's go back in here, and I will start reducing it gradually. Let's see, that is 1. Okay, it's disappeared now. Alright, bring it up, and 1 again. Alright, that is fine. Okay, that might still be too big, but for now, if I run it now, I may still have to reposition it properly, so we can just use the gun to chase the aliens around. So that is fine. Okay, that's good. That's taken care of. Now the next thing I'd like to show to you guys is, first of all, let's just position this gun properly. Let's see. No, I don't want it there. Okay, I want it like this. Yep. Let's come in here. That's too much. Let's see if I can control it with this. 5. Let's say 3. 1. No. 3. Okay. Now you see the main camera. That's what is known as the clipping plane. I'm going to reduce that to about maybe 1. Yeah. And let's adjust, before I do any other thing, let's adjust the z-axis for this very gun there. Let's make it about maybe 40 something, 45. Yeah, that's much better. And this, move this here. Okay, yeah, all right, that will do for now. We can always take care of that later on. All right, what else do we need to do? What we need, let's run it first and just see how that looks like. There we go. So I can just walk around. Okay, that's fine. Now that gun seems to be very huge. I can always reduce the size of that. But one other thing is, inside the gun here, I want to add, let's right click on it and just add an image. So let's see, I need an image. There we go. There we go, that's the image that I'm looking for. And you see this very image, I'm going to reduce the size to about, let's go for 20 and see how that's going to look like. 20 by 20, and that is it. I'm going to be using that image as my raycast. Okay, now you see that particular image, I'm going to change the material of that image. Click on that to change it to give me something rounded. Let's look for anything that is a bit rounded in here. Alright, I think I've found one. Where is it? Do that again. Come back down. Where is it? Come on. There we go. I'm going to select that. Okay, it's called something particle, something like that. Or maybe this one. Let's see. Or this one. Well, any one of them. Okay, that is it right there. Okay, if I run it, you guys should be able to see it now. Let's run it and see. And that is my raycast there. See that? Okay, that is it right there. Alright, that is taken care of. Now the next thing we want to do is, let's change the sky. So let's go to Windows here. Click on Windows. If you guys can still recall, I actually downloaded all sky free and I showed you how that is done. Where we have rendering, I'm going to click on lightning and select environment. Inside the environment, we now want to go to skybox material. Click on that, and depend on what material you want. You know, when aliens are arriving in your place or in your country, or let's say on planet Earth, let's assume they're gonna come when it's a bit dark. So let's look for something a little bit dark. This one, I don't know if that's going to be good enough. Looks a bit dark, so let's grab that. Yeah, why not? I just need to change the terrain. So close that, and that is it. That's how it's looking. Let's run it and see how that looks like. There we go. That is not too bad. That's all right. Okay, now before I go any further, let me show you guys one other thing. I'm going to come right in here. Let's go into Mixamo. I believe you all know Mixamo, so you can always type in mixamo.com. Okay, if you haven't registered, just register and you can always get whatever character you want here. The character that I intend to use is this guy that is falling around, really. Okay, so that is the character that I have selected. Let's get rid of that, and you guys should be able to see the character now. That is the character that I'm going to be using. All you need to do is select whatever character you want. Okay, so let's say if that is the alien that you want, just click on that and the alien will appear here. In the first place, you want the alien to be working, so let's come in here, go straight to the animation, and inside the animation look for working. Select one of the match that shows that it's working or whatever it's doing, or where it's trying to fight, something like that. Okay, let's see this very one. It's trying to jump and it's holding a gun. Okay, that is the first one. And if you then want him to collapse, you can just type in dead, and it will show you a lot of them falling over. The choice is then yours to choose whichever you want. Let's say that is him, that's how you want him to fall over. When you shoot at it, that is it. Now to download it, all you then need to do is click on download, and I advise you leave the whole setting the way it is. You see this very setting here? I'm going to leave them the way they are. All you then need to do is click on download. You see right here we have Collider. Collider will come with all of the texture that comes with the character, and here with skin is on. Then the frame per second is 30, and right here keyframe reduction, I'm going to leave that as none. Okay, that's how it's going to be. So just click on download there. Okay, I'm not going to be using this. This is the very one I will be using. Let's go. Let me take you guys there. So the very character that I intend to use is this very one. So let's get rid of that. This is the character I intend to use. So I'm going to change that. That is the character I intend to use. So I've already downloaded that. So you will download it as a Collider. There, download it as a Collider 1, and you will also download it as a Unity FBX extension. So click on that FBX extension, that is it right there. Select that and get that downloaded as well. Then after that, that is him falling over, and I want to download him standing. Okay, that is it dead. Now let's get him standing. Change the animation and come right to where maybe he's attempting to fight or something like that. Let's look for one of those. Yeah, something like this. Grab that. Alright, now he's walking backwards. Let him be walking towards the country. Let's look for whichever is walking. That will do it. I think I might get it in number 2. Let's see. Or you could just search for it. Working. There we go. Alright, this very one. Look at him. Working with an intent. You see that? Okay, it's got something. It's got a weapon. And you're not going to let that go free. So come down here. Click on download. Download the Unity FBX file extension. And leave the settings the way they are. There. And the next one is going to be the Collider. Download the Collider, else you will not get any of the texture that is wearing. So download. That is it, all done. So I'm going to take you straight into my folder now. Minimize this, and right here, those are the files. Okay, that is him working, dead, and working. So this is the Unity 1, 2. Okay, you then have it as a zip file. So inside the download here, okay, there they are. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there is one more dead. Okay, there. Okay, you now want to unzip. You must extract it all. Okay, which is what I've done. Extract it. That is it. 1, 2, extracted. 1, 2, extracted. It's working and it's dead here. For the Unity file extension as well, working and dead. So those 4 files, I will now drag them straight into my project area. So let's come straight into my project, and right here, okay, let's go to asset. I will create something, maybe I should call it mesh or actors. Let's right click and select folder. We just call it actors. or actor. It's only one character. There we go. Now inside the actor folder, grab the 4 files, just dump it right in there, and that is it. There we go. Now you see here, normal map setting. The normal map setting is very important. It's asking you to either accept it or ignore it. I'm going to ask you to fix it. I will not ignore. So let's ask it to fix. Okay, the material is using the texture as a normal map. Okay, the texture must be marked as normal map in the import settings. So in that case, ask it to fix it. Click on fixed. That is it, done. Now come straight inside your actor folder. Now you must be able to differentiate which one is which. This is the one that is working, so select that file. Now come straight in here inside the inspector. You see where we have rig. Click on the rig, this very one. Click on it, and animation type, select that and change that to humanoid. You must repeat exactly the same thing for the other one. So click on apply. There. Now go to animation. Inside the animation, you want the animation to be continuous. In that case, scroll down and you need loop time. Make sure that is checked, and you must accept it again. Click on apply. There we go. That is taken care of. The next one that we want to take care of now is the one that is dead, this very one. Select that. Okay, once you select that, repeat exactly the same thing. Rig, change that to humanoid. Click on apply. Animation. Okay, in the case of animation, I think it's only going to fall once. It does not have to repeat that, so I'm going to leave that out. Okay, it's only fall once and it should lie down there. If we need to change that, we'll come in here and change it. So we have it dead and we have it working. Alright, that is done. Now in here, if you click on this triangle here, that is the symbol for the animation. So to get it to animate, right click on this empty area on this project, right click on the anywhere there and go to create. We then need Animator Controller. Click on the Animator Controller. I'm going to change that to maybe alien work. There we go. One, double click on the alien work, and now come into the mesh of the alien. Click on that. Now that is the symbol for the alien. Click, drag and drop it right there. That will show the working. Look at it, start working. Look at that. So that is taken care of. You can close that if you want, but we have to repeat exactly the same thing for the second one. So collapse this. This is the second one where it dies. But first thing first, we need to create another Animator Controller. Right click, create, select Animator Controller. Where is it? Right here, Animator Controller. So I'm just going to type in the alien dead. There we go. Now double click on the alien dead, and we now need to add the Animator Controller to the alien dead as well. There we go. That is that done. Okay, so all of my animation is completed. If I did drag this guy in here, you will see him just walk. That is him there. I can't tell how big that is, but let's just run it and you'll see him walk. Okay. Oh, before we can get him to work, seems too small. We should increase the size. There's something we need to do. I was meant to attach the Animator Controller, okay, to the image itself. Alright, that is the image JST selected, and that is it right there, Vanguard, whatever it's called. Okay, that is the image there. So you grab the animator controller, this very one that is working, click, drag and drop it inside its own property here that says controller. That is it right there. And the second one, select the second one, okay, so that I can get the animator controller on board. I'm just going to drag the second one, drop it there. You will see the second one will collapse actually. Now drag the dead one and drop it right there. Good. Now let's run our animation. Run. It's coming up. Look at that. You see him collapse while the other guy is walking around. So why do I have two? When we shoot at it, that will replace the dead guy. That is the whole idea. Okay, so now let's stop that and go back in here and that. Now what we then need to do is, the size seems to be a little bit too small, so I'm going to make that maybe about 2 by 2 by 2. And for the second one, I'm going to make that 2 by 2 by 2 as well. So 2 by 2 by 2 there. That is it, done. Now I will then add control. Make sure control is added to the second one. That's the animator controller. For the second one, drag and just drop it there. We have animator controller for the first one. Let's be sure we have that. Oh, I have to select it here to make sure it's there. That is it, alien walk, and the second one, that will be alien dead. Okay then. Now the next thing I want to do now is I am going to add, I'm going to convert this to what is known as prefab. But before that, you see the dead, okay, the alien dead, let's convert that to a prefab first. Click, no, let's do one thing first. I'm going to add Capsule Collider. So let's select the alien walk, this very one there. Okay, let's increase the size of that so that you guys can see it. Okay, there. And I'm just going to go straight to my add component here, and let's look for Capsule Collider. So when shot is fired at it, we should be able to hit it. That is it right there. So let's click on Edit Collider and just drag it just up to his head. Let's do that again. Edit Collider, drag it all the way to cover his head, and there, that is fine. We really don't need collider for this one. We don't need collider, but if we do, okay, let's just add collider. If it doesn't work with the collider, we'll just take it up. Okay, add collider to that one as well. Capsule Collider. Make sure it's edited and just bring it right up. There we go. Now the next thing we want to do now is to convert it all to a prefab. Okay, the one that will fall, drag it, drop it and dump it right inside wherever your folder is, and this message pop up asking you, would you like to create a new original prefab? I'm going to say yes to that. Yeah, new original prefab, that is it. So I can then delete this one right away from there. Okay, just get rid of it now. We don't need it anymore. There we go, delete. The second one, that would be the soldier that will be walking around. Okay, just to let you guys know, you see the prefab that I've created, that is it. The soldier that will, sorry, the alien that will be walking around, we haven't added any, I haven't converted that to a prefab yet. Okay, but I just want to try one thing out. drag the one that will fall. I want to make sure it actually fall, despite the fact that I have collider on it. So let's run it and see what's going to happen with that. Let's see, there we go, there. So it's down. Okay, that is fine. So even with the collider it works as expected. So I can delete it. I don't actually need it on my scene. Get rid of that. Now this very one, there's collider on it, but one thing first, let's attach a line of code to it. So let's right click inside here. Okay, you can put your code, you can place your code anywhere you want. Actually, because I'm using the folder called actor, so everything is in there. So right click, go to create and select C# script, and let's give that a name. I will just call it area secured. I don't want to call it any harsh name like gunshot or whatever, so just call it area secured. There we go. Now open up my script called area secured. Open it up. There we go, it's coming up now. Okay, now there we go. I will just, let's get rid of this. And here where we have, first of all, let's just say public game object. And I'm just going to call it alien down. Okay, alien down. There, that is my public variable. So the object is called alien down. And here where we have void start, I'm going to change that to invalid. Let's say invalid. And what is going to be invalid is that's going to be the, I will actually to destroy game objects. Okay, so let's do that. Let's destroy game object. There. And underneath here, I'm now going to use on mouse down. When the mouse is down, I want you to do so for me. So I'm going to ask that to be private void on mouse down. Of course, we must have a parenthesis with it as well. On mouse down. When the mouse is down, what do you want me to do? I want you to instantiate. That will be instantiate the alien. Yeah, alien down. Okay. Instantiate what? Alien down. That is it right there. Okay. And I would like it to transform dot position. There. Comma. Transform here dot rotation. End it with a semicolon. Right. I will then grab destroy. There, that is it, taken care of. So all we then need to do is to make sure we save it, and I'm now going to go straight to my system. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to select the alien itself, the one that's called Vanguard _T. Start working. There, make sure it's selected. Okay, once it's selected, I want to make sure the script is on it. Let's see, is the script not on it? Okay, drag the script and attach it to it. There we go. Okay, the script is now attached to it. If you guys look in here, that is the script that is attached to it, but underneath is the variable that I declared. It's now asking me who is the alien that is going to be down. If you guys can still recall, remember the prefab that I created, that is it right there. I'm now going to drag that very prefab straight into that slot. There we go. That is taken care of. Now you see this very one, that is it right here. I'm going to convert it to a prefab as well. Drag, drop, and select original prefab. There. So I can now just copy and just drag it everywhere, wherever I want to. Just place the aliens anywhere. Okay, anywhere. So that's the advantage of a prefab. You can reuse it anytime you want. So we have the aliens everywhere, so those are the aliens we have to look for. Take them down. Okay, you can see I've added 6 in total, so let's make that 7. There we go. Alright, that is done. Now you see the gun. Okay, that is it right there. Okay, the weapon that we will use to prevent the aliens from attacking us. So we can just give it an alias. We call it stop alien. There, that is it right there. So let's add another line of code. Okay, first of all, let's give the name. I'll just call it stop alien. There. Now I'm going to make sure it's selected and click on open right here. There we go. Right. Okay, with the stop alien script open, I'm going to get rid of all of this and add the following variables. There we go. Those are the variables I'm going to be using. Undo that. There we go. This would be to destroy the alien. That's going to be the radius, and this is for the camera. Okay, and this very one here, I'm just going to use that for the particle. Why? With the update, what I'm going to do with the update is I'm going to use as follows. Let me show it to you guys first. If I come in here, let's use this very method here. Okay, come into edit. I'm going to use what is known as input, and that is it, the input manager. Select that, drop that down, and the function that I'm going to be using is fire one. That will be your left mouse click, or left click, I mean, that is it right there. That's the one I intend to use. Okay, you can use fire 2 or 3, the choice is yours. So I'm going to be using fire 1, and this is how I'm going to use fire 1. Let's come back in here. Let's start by using if input dots get button down is the function fire 1. There. Okay, that fire 1 is automatically recognized. In that case, I want you to disable the alien. Okay, so let's come right down here. There. So what do I want the system to do? Do something about the alien. I don't have a function that will get the alien down yet, but I'll just call it disable the alien. So disable alien, that is going to be the name of my function. There we go. Now let's write a function that will take care of that. So right underneath here, I'm going to say void disable alien. This very function, grab that, paste that in here. Okay, and let's use raycast as our target. If you guys can still record the raycast inside the gun, raycast hits, and I'll just give it a variable that is going to be known as target. So using an if statement, if physics dot raycast focus to the camera itself, so the camera, that is it right there, dot position, no, dot transform dot position, dot transform dot position, comma, camera dot forward. Okay, transform dot forward, obviously it is going to be moving forward, comma, out target, comma, radius, and that is the radius up there anyway. It's within the radius, so let's close that up there. Okay, if all is focused to the camera, what I don't want the system to do is, and I want this very first one, okay, area secured, grab that, area secured equals shooting target dot transform dot get transform dot get components. And what component? The component will be inside the area secured anyway. There. And let's use an if statement to now check if the target dot rigid body is not equals nothing. In that case, target dot rigid body, let's correct this, target itself dot rigid body dot add force minus target dot normal, multiply that by, let's see the force, damage force, and that's my amount of force. There we go. So what else do we need now? We're almost done. So I'm now going to ask the game object, so let's say game objects, just say clear objects, and what are you clearing? That's going to be the instantiate. Now enter some particles for me there, particle effect, comma, target dot point containing dot look rotation, target dot normal, and destroy clear object. And that's all there is to that. There we go. Okay, I think it's done. Let's come into my program here. Let's see how that's gonna work. Okay, so let's move this script stop alien straight onto the gun itself. So select the gun and scroll right down here. Okay, those are all the variables that were declared. Now the only missing one is the camera, so I'm now going to go up here. That's the camera. Grab the camera, drag it and drop it right here. There. Then I need one other thing, and that is going to be the particle. I can get some particle inside in here. So let's go into my standard asset, and in here there's some particle. Let's just get anyone here, right, and select that again. Scroll right down, grab whatever particle there, maybe this firework. Let's grab that, drop it in there. There we go. Now we have the particle, we have the camera in there. For your information, you can also add the camera as the child of this your gun M9. Alright, so let's see. Okay, before I can try that out, the other thing is there's going to be one consign here, and that is your first person shooter also have what is known as audio listener. Only one audio listener is allowed at one time, because there's one audio listener right inside your main camera here. There. So I've unchecked the one we have in here. So before I do any other thing, I'm just going to try it and see how that works. And all I just need to do is just to add buildings and add some grass here, which is not, and that's not difficult really. So let's click on run. There we go. Okay, take that alien down. We have one. You see guys, it's working. You see the alien is down. So let's go about looking for the other aliens. I can spot one right here. Suppose it's within range. There we go. Take him down. There is down as well. And there's another one. Take him down. It's coming towards you. There. Now, see, the choice is yours if you want to add sound and so on. So let's come in here. I don't think I have any sound on board, but first thing first, let's put the buildings together. So let's come right in here. I'm going to be a little bit fast with the building. Just double click on that. So let's make it look like a proper human habitat. Alright, so we can then just copy and paste that everywhere. I'm going to hold on to Control D and just copy this. Move that here. Okay, so let's just add box collider to it. Come in here and just add box collider. There we go guys. So you can always speed that up and just add as many as you like. So I'm going to speed that up and just as well. You see my terrain. I'm going to come in here. Okay, click on that and let's look for grass. Now here we have edit. Click on the edit, add grass texture, and let's look for some grass texture here. I think I've found some. I found one here. Yeah, I can just maybe click on that, or maybe this one, just to make it all look greenish. There. And I want to click on add. There we go. Then just, what about the brush? The brush is about 20. So if I click in here now, you see that guys? So I'm able to add my grass everywhere. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys shortly. Okay guys, I've added some green grass everywhere. So all I then need to do now is I'm going to add sound to the fall guy. Let's see, that is the fall guy. So let's grab sound here. Yep, I'm just going to grab this, drop it in there. There. Now I have sound in there, explosion sound. Now let's look for the fall guy, the prefab for the fall guy. That is it there. So let's scroll right down. We now need to add audio source. There we go, add audio source. That is the audio source added, and I will now drag the sound right inside the audio clip here. There, I will keep it on as play on awake. Loop, no, do not loop. Okay, so let's run it and see how that looks like. Run. There we go. Now we have some aliens around. You hear the sound? That is good. Take the other one down, and let's just walk around and see. Okay, we can see another one there. Take him down. There we go, guys. See, and that's all there is to it, guys. So I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. There are a lot of benefit if you're a member. So with that, I'm gonna say bye for now. Bye.